Listen, you will never, ever, ever be the same again. I mean, a radical revolution is about to take forth. This is about a space and time that God has created for you to step into a new dimension. The one thing I can tell you for sure is that nothing is for sure. That life will often disrupt what you expected. So you got to get used to being a little disappointed. You got to get used to being a little bit shocked. You got to get used to walking into situations and being flexible and adjustable. Because if you are not flexible, you cannot survive.
Keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. What an opportunity we have, because tomorrow's the first day of the rest of our lives. So what an opportunity we have to practice what he preached. So keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.
We will pay the most extraordinary disciplines if we can see the promise of the future. So I'm asking you to get a handle on the future. I'm asking you not to leave it to anyone else. I'm asking you to set your own goals, your personal goals, income goals and financial goals and health goals and spiritual goals. And where do you want to go and what do you want to do and what do you want to see and what do you want to be? That's it. Design your own future. It's within your hands and your capacity to do so. You don't have to anchor, you don't have to focus, you don't have to visualize, none of that stuff. Here's how simple goal setting is. Change my life. Decide what you want and write it down. I mean, that's how profound this stuff is. So don't just let the springs pass. Take advantage. Seize the day. Seize the moment. Seize the opportunity. Life is fragile. Life is brief. Elton John sings she lived her life like a candle in the wind. It's fragile, it's brief. Whatever you're going to do, you got to get at it. Don't just let it pass away. In the summer, learn how to nourish and protect. We've got 2 challenges in the summer, part of our life. And that is become capable and powerful enough in the summer and wise enough in the summer to nourish what's good and defend yourself against what's bad. The summertime is an interesting time. It holds the possibility of the promise of harvest time, but it also has the possibility of the threat. Best as I can describe summertime, you got to nourish your values like a mother. Go after the threat to the values you've got like a father.
There might be a tendency sometimes, because of the negative part of our consciousness and our own programming, for us to want to say, well, I just do it this time. It won't matter. Won't nobody know. Ladies and gentlemen, everything matters. And you know you're somebody. You know I'd rather lose out on my dream doing the right thing than to cheat trying to make a shortcut to get to my goal. I want to be able to look myself in the mirror. And that's what you want to do. There's no saying, judge a man not by what he does, but by that he doesn't have to do. And to judge the true quality of a man is what do you do when nobody's looking. See, there's some good out there for you in the universe that has your name on it. And nobody can get your good. They can't take your stuff. It's your stuff. So when you know that whatever you're seeking, it's also seeking you. You don't worry. You don't run scared. You don't think somebody's going to take it from you. You listen to your inner voice and you always take the high road. There will be the tendency, the natural inclination to take the low road. You must resist that.
We should be better this year than we were last year. Don't let the mess become permanent. The addiction, the negative attitude, that is not who you are. Keep growing. Keep resisting the temptation. Keep saying no to carnal desires. Every time you do the right thing, the next time it gets a little bit easier. And there's nothing wrong with being under construction, but there is something wrong with not making any progress. Do your part. Be willing to change. God will do His part. He'll help you to come up higher. That's why action is so important. The least action, the smallest action.
take it. Because when you start accomplishing and the value starts to return from that one action, it'll inspire you to do the next one and the next one and the next one. All disciplines affect each other. Every lack affects the rest. Every new affects the rest. The key is to diminish the lack and set up the new. And you've started a whole new life process. One more thought on discipline. Here's the greatest value of discipline: self-worth, self-esteem. The least lack of discipline, and it starts to erode our psyche. One of the greatest temptations is to just ease up a little bit. The slightest lack of doing your best starts to erode the psyche. Instead of doing your best, doing just a little less than your best. Sure enough, you say, well, it's just going to affect my sales. No, it's going to affect your consciousness. It's going to affect your philosophy. Now you've begun in the slightest way to affect your own philosophy. Neglect starts as an infection. And if you don't take care of it, it becomes a disease. And one neglect leads to another. And the worst of all, when neglect starts, it diminishes our self-worth, our self-confidence, our self-value. All you have to do is start the smallest discipline that now corresponds to your own philosophy. Like I should, and I could, and I will. No longer will I let neglect stack up on me so that I will have the sorry scenario 6 years from now, giving some excuse instead of celebrating my progress.
Sometimes when you see a construction site, you can't tell if they're tearing something down or building something up. The taller the building, the deeper the foundation has to go. What's interesting is you can't see the foundation. It's underground, it's hidden, but you could argue that it's the most important part. They could build a huge tower, but if they didn't take time to put the proper foundation, it wouldn't last. And there are times that we know we're supposed to be going up. We have big dreams. God's put promises in our hearts, but it feels the opposite, like we're going down. We're not growing, not seeing good breaks. What we may not realize is God is working on our foundation, on our character, on how we respond to adversity. We don't like these times, but they are extremely important. Like the building, the higher you're going to go, the deeper your foundation has to be. Don't get discouraged when things are not happening on your timetable. God knows what He's doing. Keep passing the test. Those things that are not changing, but you keeping a good attitude, that's making you stronger. Your foundation is going down deeper. That's a sign you're getting prepared to go higher. Don't get sour because things aren't moving as fast as you would like. Something is happening that you can't see. Your foundation is going down deeper. You're being prepared to go to new levels.
So start practicing using programs for your mind. Seminars, books, workshops. Keep a journal. Record your thoughts, what's happening with you. See, ladies and gentlemen, we get 3 to 4 thoughts a year that if we would act on those thoughts, they could change our life. Don't say, well, I'll remember that. No, write that thought down. I got a thought today I wrote down.
That's the key to discipline. One more, and then one more, and then another one, and then another one, and then some more. And the first thing you know, you're starting to weave the tapestry of a disciplined life into which you can pour more wisdom and more attitude and more strong feeling, more faith and more courage. Now you've got something, a vessel in which to put it. And now the equities start to flow. And the early return, I'm telling you, if you'll start this process, the early return will have you so excited. You'll commit yourself to this strategy for the rest of your life. You'll never go back to the old ways. Join a new crowd, join a new group. The disciplines to do, take action. I recommended the last time I was here, the little book, Richest Man in Babylon, and I said I've lectured now to over 3 million people in the last 33 years, and I've recommended this little book to almost all of them, I think. Guess how many have actually gone and got this little book? Answer, very few. My best guess is 10%. Such an easy thing to do. Why wouldn't everybody go get it? We don't know. What do you know? You don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. Here's how profound it is. Some do and some don't. Now here's the numbers. About 10% do. 90% don't or won't. And I'm telling you, 10 years from now, those numbers will still be the same. 10% will, 90% won't. The numbers don't change. Only the faces change. I used to belong to the 90% who couldn't be bothered even if it was easy. You got to be smarter than that. Just because disaster doesn't fall on us at the end of the first day doesn't mean disaster isn't coming. You got to be so smart that you look down the road and say, will the errors in my present judgment of philosophy, what's that going to cost me in 1 year, 6 years?